Okay, August 6th, arms and cardio day, still leg capacity month, which we will touch on here. I'm quite excited about this workout. I've said many times in a lot of these videos, for those of you that actually listen to them, kudos to you, by the way, pat in the back. The hardest part at this point of programming for me is just finding unique structures that aren't so like out of left field, that they still check all the boxes. It promotes not only what we're trying to target, but at a efficient level, and we get the subsequent volume and repetition and time of recovery needed for these to still be really efficient. And again, this many years in, it's just the structure, like filling a structure in is not hard for me anymore. I've become quite efficient at that part. I feel pretty good about that part. It's just every now and then, like, the redundancy of working out becomes challenging, and we have so much flexibility with our space and all the equipment we have, and the fact that you guys have your own lanes, that I can, I have the ability to sometimes be able to just sit there and come up with some pretty crazy stuff. But I don't want it to actually be crazy. I want it to be effective. And when I do these workouts, because I do them with you, it needs to accomplish what we set out to accomplish. And this class, I'm excited. There are, it seems silly to say I'm excited, because I'm excited about all the workouts, but some of them are just like, I'm really excited to go through and do them with you guys. So you're gonna have 5 rounds here. The start of every single round is gonna start with the bike. And I really like this descending bike ladder type of situation for a couple of reasons. One, just the volume you're going to get on the bike. I think sometimes I stray away from getting too much volume. I know a lot of people kind of roll their eyes at longer aerobic outputs. And it's just every now and then we need to do them. Like it's, doing some of the enduro stuff is really important. I like establishing your aerobic floor and kind of dragging that, and you have an understanding of how to not only sustain particular outputs or heart rates, but work on the enduro side. So this is going to achieve that. But the beauty of it, what I'm excited about, is that I also gave a goal where you're not stuck on the bike for the entire amount of time. So it's a 5-minute bike or 50 calories, and it's a very achievable goal. And I always take pride in making it achievable for everybody in class to some degree. Obviously, there's always expectations, and I like you guys to get to a particular performance level. But for most people, I think this is very achievable. So if you didn't know, 55 RPMs is 10 calories a minute. So you just have to hold 55 RPMs for 5 minutes in order to hit your 50 calories. And I think the exciting part for this is, as you descend and your bike drops by a minute, your output has to increase with it, which I think is very fair and a realistic expectation, right? We shave an entire minute off. It's 20% in terms of total duration. And the expectation is that your calories have to go up 1 calorie a minute, right? So now its expectation is 11 calories every minute. And then we go to number 3, and it's 12 calories a minute. And 2 is so forth and so on, 13 calories a minute. And then again, 14 calories for the 1 minute, which again, I think is incredibly realistic, and it gives people something to kind of aim for. For our really, really strong bikers, you could always approach this as like, you're just going to, maybe finish 50 calories in 4 minutes, right? Like there's, for anybody that looks at these and is like, this is a cakewalk, great. You can always just increase your output and work on your transition. And then after each bike ride, once you start your round of the bike, you go down to this bottom part. You'll have a superset of triceps, a superset of biceps, which I like this rep count combination. It's 23 total reps for both triceps and biceps. Obviously, preferably done back to back here. So like the triceps, both exercises done back to back. Maybe you can take a couple seconds, and then both bicep movements done back to back. I like the higher volume of the more secondary lift for the triceps and the hammer curls, and the big boy lift, the overhead extension, the one you can really load up on, and the chin ups, obviously moving your whole body weight at the lower rep count. So nice little yin and yang there for both of these. And then the leg capacity month is right there. The walking lunges, we've talked about this before. Remember, every shuttle should be at minimum, at bare minimum, should be 10 lunges. Like that's 10 for me. So it's 5 one way, 5 the other way. So you're looking at, at minimum 20 walking lunges here. Obviously for some of you guys or people in the middle lanes, you might be looking at like 24 or 26 walking lunges. But a nice little combination of that into the bodyweight squats to work on the monthly emphasis. A little bit of a skier transition to get your legs hopefully a little recovered in terms of that lactic threshold before you hop back on the bike for round number 2 and go to a 4-minute bike. But either way, I hope you guys enjoy like some of these structures. I do put a lot of time into kind of coming up with these and not being stagnant and repeating stuff. I've pretty big OCD with not repeating things. So feedback's always welcome. If you have any questions, obviously just ask.